Argentina's new president-elect, Javier Milei, has won the election campaign on the promise of restoring Argentina's economy from hyperinflation by dollarization.
Discussion about dollarization. Actually, strictly speaking, it's to get rid of the central bank. The dollarization is an instrumental issue at the end of the day.
Which means replace Argentinian peso with the US dollar. But will dollarization save Argentina's economy from falling into multiple defaults and recession? For that, we will learn the root cause of Argentina's economic problem, then understand how dollarization affects the economy, and finally talk about whether dollarization would actually save Argentina's economy. My name is Kanak and welcome back to my channel. If you have not already subscribed, then subscribe to my channel for more informative and interesting content. In 2013, you could buy $1 with 5 Argentinian peso. But today, for the same $1, you will have to pay 357 Argentinian peso. For the last decade, since 2013, Argentinian economy is experiencing hyperinflation, and inflation is constantly running in double digits. And in 2023, it crossed the 100% mark and reached triple digits. This shows how drastically the Argentinian currency has reduced in value, and the people and businesses in Argentina have lost their trust in pesos and are already trading and storing their money in the US dollar. And there are 3 primary reasons that cause the economic chaos in Argentina. The first is excessive borrowing and default on loans. The second is consistently running high budget deficit, which means spending significantly more than the tax revenue that the government collects. The third and the final reason is poor economic policies of the government. Let us look at each of these 3 factors closely. Argentina's external debt, that is, its borrowing from foreign countries, has doubled within a short span of a decade. And Argentina already defaulted twice in the last 10 years, once in 2014 and most recently in 2020. Coming to the second point around spending. The Argentinian government relied heavily on printing money to finance its spending. And as you can see on your screen, Argentina has been running a budget deficit of 5% or more for most of the last decade. To put it simply, a budget deficit occurs when the government spends more money than the tax revenue it collects. And in the case of Argentina, for every dollar of tax revenue the government collects, it is spending $1.05 or more. And the way the government spends more money is by borrowing money. So this spending adds to the government debt. Finally, Argentina has many trade restrictive policies that prevent the country from integrating and adapting to the globalized world, and also prevent it from reaping the benefits of new technology that could help the country to industrialize and boost its productivity. All these 3 factors combined have led to the collapse of Argentina's economy today. Now, to solve the economic problem of Argentina, the new president-elect Javier Milei has proposed to replace the Argentinian peso with the US dollar and shut down its central bank. But will this solve the problem of Argentina? By replacing peso with the US dollar, the Argentinian government will be able to stop the problem of constant printing of money and control high inflation. And this will stabilize the economy and reduce the inflationary pressure. However, this will come at a massive cost of losing control over the Argentinian economy and become heavily dependent on the external countries such as United States and institutions such as IMF or the World Bank. If Argentina dollarizes its economy, then the only way Argentina would be able to increase the supply of dollar in the economy would be by either exporting more goods in exchange for dollars or borrowing more dollars. This means Argentina will no longer be able to decide the supply of money in its economy. Especially when an economy runs into a recession, the government usually gives a jump start to the economy by lowering interest rates, which enables more businesses to borrow money and increase the supply of money in the economy. This leads to more people spending money and boosting the overall economic activity. But if Argentina does not have control over the supply of dollars, it can no longer jumpstart its economy when it falls into recession. So, dollarization is a short-term solution to stabilize the economy. However, it has a very high cost for the economy over the long term. The second biggest problem with dollarization is execution. For Argentina to dollarize its economy, the government needs to have dollars in order to exchange them for pesos. But the country does not have any dollar reserves, but in fact, the country is on negative foreign currency reserves. The country owes dollars to foreign lenders instead of having dollar surplus. The only way the country can bring dollars into its economy is by pledging its natural resources, increasing exports to foreign countries, or seeking foreign investors. But both of these solutions will require a long time to generate enough dollars to dollarize the economy. Similar to Argentina's current plan, Ecuador had dollarized its economy back in 2000, which led to stabilization of its economy. However, the country has already defaulted twice in the last 2 decades despite dollarization. Dollarizing Argentina will introduce the risk of default because the country will not have control over the foreign currency, and if it is not able to generate enough dollars to pay back its lenders, then it could potentially fall back into a debt default. Even though dollarization is a short-term fix that will bring immediate economic stability to Argentina, it will be hard to achieve as the country does not have enough foreign exchange reserves. However, over the long term, it will cost the country more because the country will lose control over its economy. So, a more long-term solution for Argentina would be to build central banks and institutions with strong governance that operate with fiscal discipline and reintroduce its local currency, which will enable it to control its own economy.